Creatures of the earth. To come to a greater understanding of the creatures that are put on earth, it is necessary to look first at the earth itself. No creature that has lived even many millions of years ago is an accident or an experiment, as has been suggested by some, but a carefully planned living thing fitted exactly into its environment, and having its set tasks to perform, and its place to fill exactly suited to the environment. When the earth and the environment in which it lives no longer requires it, it will either die out altogether or slowly mutate by means of its inherited genes into a slightly different creature, or a totally different one, sometimes over many thousands of years, to become an almost unrecognizable form of the original. All things that live on the earth must be part of a careful plan, a plan which is not difficult to understand by those who have sufficient intelligence and wisdom to look carefully enough at the environments of different animals and their needs. For this reason, it is very wrong to try to introduce different animals into different environments of an entirely different nature from that which they were intended. This can bring about untold harm, destroying vegetation, other important species of animals, and all manner of other dangers, and all too often ignored by some who consider themselves knowledgeable, but have not taken sufficient trouble to come to a true understanding of the careful design of the nature of natural things. There have been many different species. Actually, before I go on to that, that is illustrated by the fact that rabbits were brought here at one stage, I think from Australia, and then became such a nuisance in this country that scientists, in their wisdom, decided to introduce myxomatosis, which meant that many of them are still dying in agony of this terrible condition.
It was the other way round. We brought rabbits to Australia.
Well, did we? Well, anyway, we would wipe them out that way anyway. So, and then also dinosaurs. Dinosaurs were introduced, it's in another dictation, dinosaurs were introduced to try and sort out an enormous amount of vegetation that was that grew as a result of mankind growing crops in the equatorial areas of the world where nothing is ever supposed to be, and ruining the weather systems. And the genes that they were created from are still there in small lizards and different things. So that is how things go about. There have been many different species of animals sent onto the earth, as their fossilized remains prove, some of which are millions of years old. They have completed their purpose and are extinct. They were never experimental, only necessary at the time. The many different types of dinosaur are an example of this, formed by the mutation of genes of other animals living today in a different form. They completed their task and died out without the help of any meteor. Strangely enough, rabbits are very similar in their shape and their face shape to the kangaroo. And I heard last night that apparently, I was watching something, and they were saying that when Captain Cook first arrived in Australia and they saw these kangaroos, they asked the Aboriginal people who were there what they were called. And it was a complete misunderstanding, but they said kangaroo, which means I don't know. So that was that. So anyway, I finished that now.